Hello, everybody, if everybody's here. Oh, I'm going to put another book up so it's a bit higher. Okay, I'll just wait for some people to join and then I will start talking. Sorry if you're watching this back later. It's always a bit strange at the start, but when there's nobody here. So today I'm going to talk a bit about... Oh, hiya, how are you? Are you well? Are you having a good day? I'm trying to organise my books so my phone's a bit higher. Oh. Hello. How's your day? Is it good? Ooh. Okay, so I was going to talk a bit about food today. So if you have any food questions, you can ask away. Oh, good. Is the weather better in Russia now? Because I was talking to another student yesterday, and she said it was still really cold. I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm okay. The weather's really hot in England. It's really sunny. It's like the summer. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on, but it's really nice. So we've been in the garden a lot today, and to the allotment. We've taken the dog for a walk. Oh, just a bit better. Yeah, so it's very nice here. We're lucky, but I was saying to my mum the other day, I bet as soon as they let us out of lockdown, it will start to rain because the weather is so good now. Oh, it's nasty in Moscow. Yeah, I think that's near where my student was that I was teaching, and she said the weather was horrible, cold, really cold. She said she was wearing her winter coat and everything. So yeah, not much good. In England, we're opposite. It's like 20 something. Hello. It's like 20 something degrees. It's crazy. It's never this hot in spring. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the weather. But, sorry, I'm just turning this on. Yeah, but it's crazy. I don't know. But it'll probably rain for the whole of July, knowing our luck. So, oh, my screen's gone crazy. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to talk about food. Oh, sorry? Myrtle just asked me if I'm just talking to my phone. I am just talking to my phone, but there are people on the other end. Talking to my phone like a crazy lady. So I thought we could start with talking about cooking. So I don't know, I know you like cooking, Irina. So I was going to talk about some verbs that we use for cooking and different cooking utensils and things like that. And then maybe some words to describe food and some idioms. Okay, so cooking verbs. There are lots of them when you start to think about them. And so the ones to actually cook the food, we have the easy ones like to fry. So to fry is when you have... I'm just going to take you on a tour of my house very quickly. Please excuse the mess. I was going to bring some things with me. So you just have to ignore the mess in my house. I was going to bring some things to show you to help with the cooking, because it's easier to show you than to describe them. So I'm going to show you my cooking utensils, but I'm not going to show you my kitchen because my kitchen is a mess. So I'm going to take you into the other room, which is also a mess. In England, do you know if your house is messy, you say my house is a tip. So my house is a tip at the moment. Okay, so this is what I was going to do. I meant to put them there before, but I forgot. Okay, so frying is in a shallow pan. So by shallow, I mean like this, not as opposed to a deep pan. So they are all a kind of pan, but to fry is a pan like this. Okay, so that is to fry, and that is a frying pan. Okay.
No, can I play with them now?
You can play with that one, yes, but not those ones. Okay, so you fry in a frying pan, and we have to shallow fry. So shallow fry is with only a little bit of oil or fat, whatever you use, and then to deep fry. So like when you go to the chip shop and they have the big, like the big plunger to make chips. So that's deep fry. So you have deep fry, shallow fry, and stir fry. And when you fry something, it then becomes fried food. So if you fry an egg, it is then a fried egg. So it's easy to remember, you just turn it into an adjective. Okay. Okay, so to fry, easy one to start off with. Another one we have is to boil. So I didn't bring a big pan with me, they're in the cupboard. So a deep pan with boiling water is to boil. So then you have boiled potatoes, boiled eggs, boiled vegetables. Okay, so to boil is just to cook like when you cook pasta. Okay, to cook in boiling water. You have to steam. So steam is obviously what comes off when boiling water, when water evaporates, it turns to steam. So when you steam, you have your food above the pan and they cook in the steam. Okay, so to steam, like you steam, but then you have steamed vegetables, steamed chicken. Okay, so it's like quite healthy, I think, isn't it? To steam your food. We can, if you're using the oven, so inside the oven, you can either bake. So when you bake things, that is to cook without fat. Okay, so turn my screen off. Sorry, I've got the reflection of my. Oh my god. So it's to. Yes. Okay, Myrtle's playing kitchens. So to bake means to cook without fat or oil in the oven. So you bake bread, you bake cakes, you bake pastry, you bake biscuits. Okay, that's all baking. In England, baked potatoes are very popular. So when you have the whole, the whole potato in its skin, and you bake it in the oven, and then you cut it in half. So that's a baked potato. They're very popular in England. If you cook in the oven with oil, then it's called roasting. Okay, so the only difference between baking and roasting is that you use fat or oil to roast. So you roast meat, or you roast vegetables, or whatever else you want to roast. Okay, so it just means to cook like that. To grill is like, so if you look at your oven, when you have the oven dial, the picture with the flames on top is the grill, and you put your food in and it just comes on top. But also to grill can be when you have it just underneath, so it's like just on one side, and it's on the grate to grill. To toast, to make toast. Okay. Toast is a noun, toast is a verb. So to toast something, I better use these other things because otherwise Myrtle won't have them. I'll do them now. Okay, so
that's a grater.
It is a grater. If you
Can I help show these?
Come on then. Myrtle's going to show you these.
You can say the word.
Okay, so this is a grater, and it is to grate something. So the verb is to grate, and it is a grater. And when you have grated something, you have grated cheese, for example. So if you grate cheese using the grater, you have grated cheese. Okay?
This one.
Thank you.
This one.
A colander. So a colander is the name, but the verb is to drain or to strain your food. So when you remove the water, like pasta, you can say strain or drain the pasta. It means to remove the water using a colander. I don't need that one. You can have that one.
So why did you bring it to yourself?
By mistake. Sorry. I have a helper today. A masher. Okay? So a masher is used to mash. So you mash potato or anything else you want to mash. I don't mash many things. Maybe sometimes I mash parsnips and carrots together. That's quite nice with butter. But to mash and a masher, a potato masher. Okay? Can I have that back, Myrtle?
I didn't know you needed it.
Okay. She's taken all my props now, so that's it. Okay, so you can mash, grate, boil, steam, fry, grate, roast, bake. When we talk, Myrtle, can you mash quietly? Thank you. When we're talking about cutting food, we usually say chop or slice. So we usually say we slice bread, or we slice your onions. It usually means it's like in more of a section, whereas chop is more sort of quicker and into little bits. Yes, she's now got her. We have a whole. Well, you've seen. I don't know. Myrtle has her hold. Her. My house is just terrible, but if you can see, she has a toy kitchen here. That's her toy kitchen that she's not playing with, and she never plays with, but she's got all my kitchen things which are much better and more fun, so, and noisier because they're all metal. So yeah, so we often say so chop, and you might see if you're reading a recipe, it might say roughly chop. And if it says roughly chop, it means it's not important really how it looks. You know, it's not precise. Yeah, exactly. It is more interesting. So you could say roughly chop, or to finely chop, which would mean in little thin bits. Myrtle, please. Into little thin bits. Or they might say to dice. So to dice your food means to cut it into little cubes, like a dice. So into little things like this. So chop or slice. If you have meat, like a joint of roast meat, you know, like if you have a chicken or a turkey or a joint of beef, for example, you would say that you carve it. So you carve the meat. Yeah, I don't know why it has to be different, but it's different. Okay. Other verbs you use for cooking would be, an easy one is to stir. Obviously with a spoon, you stir.
Can I have this?
Yes?
What is it?
This is a cake slice. A cake slice. She's stealing things out of the kitchen.
And you said I could have it though.
I did. You can have it. So, you stir to just normally stir. But sometimes if you have a recipe, so for example, if you've ever made meringue, you know meringue with egg white. So first of all, if you were making meringue, you would whisk the egg white. So when you have the piece of equipment with the, it's like this, and it's metal, and you whisk to get air in. So you whisk the egg white to make it big, and then the recipe would say to fold in the sugar, and when you fold, it means you stir like this, and you take it underneath and on top. Okay, so different ways of stirring, different verbs. So to stir normally, to whisk, like is to whisk cream, or to whisk an egg, to fill it means to fill it with air to make it bigger. Okay, and then to fold is when you take the spoon under and over, so that you're doing it very gently so that you keep the air in. Okay. Another useful verb to know is to simmer. So if you boil something, so they talk about a rolling boil, which means when the water is bubbling and bubbling, bubbling, and then they might say bring it to a boil, okay, and then reduce the heat to simmer. This is often written in recipes. So maybe you're making soup and you bring it to the boil, so it's boiling, and then you turn the heat down, and so it's very like a gentle boil, like a simmer. Okay, so it's still quite hot and it's still cooking, but it's not boiling. Okay, So a simmer is not as hot as boiling. Okay. There are lots of strange different expressions when you start reading recipes. Yeah, it's quite difficult, and they often sort of use different terms with it. Myrtle, please. Okay. So other ones we can think of are to stew. So if you stew something, is like to cook something in its own juices. So you know, if you stew fruit, so like apple or rhubarb or any fruit really, any fruit you like, pears, blackberries, it's when you cook them in their own juice and they go soft and then it's stewed. Okay, so that just means to cook in their own juices is to stew. We talk about slow cooking. So we have like slow cooked, I don't know, slow cooked pork or something. It means it's been cooked for a long time at a low temperature usually. Okay, so slow cooking, and you can buy a thing and it's called a slow cooker, like a pot, and you set it on for a long time at a low temperature. So to slow cook. What other ones are useful to know? That's probably the most important ones. Are there any that you've heard that you can think of? To mix, which is obviously, so you mix something, when you're making a cake, you mix the ingredients. Excuse me, you mix the ingredients. If you're mixing a salad, you say to toss a salad. So when you put all your vegetables into a salad and then you mix it, but we don't say to mix the salad, we say to toss the salad. Okay. Also, if you're making a salad, you might use the verb to drizzle. So when you put oil or vinegar over and you just pour very, very finely, a very little amount, you would drizzle oil or you would drizzle vinegar. Okay, and that just means to pour a very little amount. It's the same word as when it rains a little bit, is to drizzle. It's the same word. Okay, like we have you ever heard of lemon drizzle cake? Which is really yummy. It's like a lemon sponge, and then you use sugar and lemon syrup, and you drizzle it over the cake and it soaks into the cake, and it's called lemon drizzle cake. It's delicious. It's very good. Okay. But yeah, to drizzle just means to pour it very finely over, or a little amount. Okay, so that's some verbs. I'm trying to think if there's any more before I move on. There are loads, but there's some helpful ones. So taste, how food tastes. We have lots of different words for tasting. Lots of them are easy, really. Then we season with. Oh yeah, you say to, yes, to season. So season is a noun and a verb as well. So to season is to add salt, pepper, or spices. Yeah, so you say season with salt and pepper, or season with whatever it is you like. But usually, most people think of when they say to season is to add a little bit of salt. And we would say we used like a pinch of salt. So you might say season with a pinch of salt, which would mean like this. Another thing that also says in recipes is season to taste, which means add the seasoning to your own taste, so as much or as little as you like. So if it says season to taste, it's like your own opinion. Sorry, I have a very tickly throat. Excuse me. It's pretty tickly today. Yeah, so just season to taste, and to season with seasoning. Oh yeah, so some of the adjectives that we use to describe food are easy, because like we can say things like, if it has a lot of salt, it is salty. If it has a lot of cream, it is creamy. If it has a lot of cheese, it is cheesy. So sometimes it's easy, you just add why on this? No, season isn't for sugar. No. Salt and pepper mainly. Some people say to season with spices, but mainly it's salt and pepper, or predominantly salt. If you added salt, it'd be to sweeten. Yeah, so sometimes we just add E onto the, or Y, sorry, onto the word to say that it has a lot of this thing. So, that's a really chocolatey cake. It's okay. So it means it tastes a lot of chocolate. It's a really cheesy biscuit. Tastes a lot of cheese. It's very salty. It's very creamy. And some people use the words, even though they're probably not real words, like, oh, it's really appley, or it's really, I don't know, another word, tomatoey, okay? But sometimes they're not real words, it's just people say it to emphasise the fact that it has a lot of the flavour. But you can say something is fruity, you know, it means it has like a fruity flavour. It's chocolatey, it's creamy. Juicy, yeah, exactly, it has a lot of juice. So those ones are easy. Other ones we have, so obviously, if it has a lot of sugar, it's sweet. That's easy. If it's something like the word bitter. So if we say something is bitter, people often get muddled with like bitter and sour, get confused. But when we say it's bitter, it means it's quite maybe a strong flavour. It can be unpleasant, but not necessarily. So, for example, if we have, you know, really dark chocolate, the one which it has sort of, I don't know, 80% cocoa or something, the really dark stuff, that's bitter chocolate. Okay, so it still tastes nice. I mean, I love dark chocolate, so it's bitter chocolate, but it's got that strong flavour, and that's where bitter comes from. In England, we have a type of beer, and that the beer is called bitter, and it's like a type of ale. It's called bitter because it has a bitter flavour. So that's bitter. But if you have sour, so sour is like lemons and vinegar. Okay, so it's that acidic taste. So we also say it's sharp. So it can be sharp or sour, and it means it's acidic or you know, vinegary, lemony, that kind of taste. The one that makes you go ooh when you eat it. That one. Okay. If something has no flavour at all, we would say it's bland. Okay, so it means bland or tasteless. It has no flavour. It probably needs seasoning. Okay, so bland is no flavour. If something, there's two ways of saying it. So if something tastes like it is old, we might say it tastes or it smells off. So it means, like, you know, if milk has gone bad, you know, it's past its sell-by date, you'd say it smells off or it tastes off. And you can also say it's rancid. It tastes rancid. So it means it tastes like it's gone bad. Okay, so, you know, because we often say when food is bad, it has gone off. So when you taste it, you say it tastes off, or it smells off, which is a bit strange, isn't it? If you have, sorry, Myrtle's playing the drums on the pots and pans. If you have texture, so texture, you have crispy, like crisps, or crunchy, like an apple, or chewy, like toffee. You know, toffee, the sweet, is a chewy sweet when it makes you chew for a long time. What did I say? Crispy, crunchy, chewy. What about cheese, which smells?
When you finish talking,
Oh, that's just smelly cheese. You just say it smells strong. Yeah, it's just got a strong smell. A very.
when you finish talking to your phone, I'll be outside.
No, you can't go outside.
No, not outside.
Sorry.
I'm just sitting next to the doorstep.
On the doorstep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my daughter's trying to leave the house.
I'm
she's going to sit on the doorstep. So yeah, so if cheese smells strong, it's just got a strong, you just say it's got a strong smell. You know, like, do you know the English cheese Stilton with the like blue cheese? It smells really strong. So you might say it's got a strong smell, but it's not off, because you know it's not off. That's all you would say. What else did I say about textures? I said crispy, crunchy, chewy. What else did I say? Can't remember. Oh, if something's not very nice, you could say it's slimy. You know, like, that'd be a horrible texture. You can say something smooth, or it's silky. Excuse me, I'm just going to follow Myrtle around. Oh, she's there. It's okay. I'm just making sure she doesn't run away. And if you cook meat badly, you know, like if you overcook food, you would say it's tough. You know, meat that's been cooked for a long time is tough. So that's not a good thing. And if it's been cooked very well, or it's a good piece of meat, you would say it's tender. So when it's just easy to bite, when, you know, how can I explain tender? If it's not chewy, it's not tough, it's like maybe a well-cooked steak, for example, you'd say it's very tender. Or nice fresh vegetables are tender. Okay, so they've got a bit of a bite. They're not soggy, they're not soft, but they're not hard. Okay, then they're just tender. Okay, so yeah, if you have soggy vegetables, for example, not good. When they've been cooked for too long, you would say they are soggy, meaning they sort of got too much water and they've gone all soft and disgusting. Okay. What other things have we got about food? So I had some food idioms for you. Okay, any questions about that? Sorry, I'm just checking. Can you stay inside? Okay, so there are loads of food idioms. You probably know quite a few of them. But there are quite a lot. So, for example, the easy one that you probably all know is if you say something's a piece of cake, it means it's really easy. So, a piece of cake is really easy. Some people also say easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, Mercer says that's just a made-up word, but I don't think it is. Another one when I mentioned earlier, where you talk about a pinch of salt. If you take something with a pinch of salt, it means to, if you don't really believe somebody, if you don't really believe what somebody's telling you, then you'd say, I take whatever he says with a pinch of salt. It means I don't really believe it. It's not, I don't think it's true. Okay, so to take something with a pinch of salt, you don't believe it. To have your fingers in a lot of pies means to, if you have like lots of different jobs or ideas and you're kind of involved in lots of different things, then we say you have your fingers in a lot of pies. Okay, so it means you're involved in lots of different projects or lots of different businesses. So you're always trying to do something new. Okay. Bring home the bacon means to earn money and bring money into the house. And to put bread on the table is the same meaning. So bring home the bacon and put bread on the table both means to make money. I can't see with these on properly. To make money to bring to the house. Okay. What else have we got? To be the apple of someone's eye means you are the centre of their attention. You are their like the most important thing to them. If you love this person and you think they're great, then they are the apple of your eye. So, like, you know, I might say, oh, my daughter is the apple of my eye. Most of the time. When she's not trying to escape from the house. Oh, okay. All right then. Okay, so another one we have is to still beans, and that means to reveal information. Like sorry, it just irritates me when the thing reflects on my face. To reveal a secret. So if you maybe you're planning a surprise party for somebody, and then somebody lets that person know about the party, then they spill the beans. Okay, so it's like to reveal a secret. If something isn't your cup of tea, it means you don't really like this thing. So, for example, football isn't really my cup of tea. I don't really like football. Okay. What else have we got? In a nutshell. So a nutshell, so you know a nut, and the shell is around the nut. So when you say something in a nutshell, it means to be very precise and give the main points of information, like to summarize. So you explain something and you summarize it, then you explain it in a nutshell. Okay, so it's like all the important bits of information together. Okay. To have your cake and eat it is one which always makes me laugh. It means you can't have everything you want. So you might say, I don't want to work, but I want lots of money, which would mean you want to have your cake and eat it. So you want the best of both worlds, which is another expression we use. And it's one of the ones my mum always uses. She says, you can't have your cake and eat it. It's like you can't have the best of both things. Okay. The icing on the cake is like something that makes everything kind of perfect. So it's like you've had a really great day, and then you come home to find you've had a really good day anyway, and then you come home to find that your husband has cleaned the house. It's the icing on the cake. So it's like it makes it even better. It never happens. Okay, so it's like something that improves an already good thing. So the cake's already good, and then icing on top makes it even better. So something good made even better. Okay, there are quite a few of those ones. Okay, any questions you've got about food or cooking? Oh, hi Leona, how are you? So, do you like cooking? I know you cook, Irina, you make lots of cakes and nice things. I quite like cooking. I like baking quite a lot, but I used to work in a cafe, so I learnt to make some good cakes. But I do quite like cooking, but I like doing it when I have lots of time, so it's not stressful. And I like cooking for other people, and having friends around, but we can't have anybody in our houses at the moment. I'm trying to think if there's any more verbs. Hi Liana, how are you? Oh, your family likes scones now. Okay. Did you tried that recipe that we that was did I send you a recipe? I can't. Oh no, it was the one we watched, wasn't it? We watched I think it was Mary Berry or Jamie Oliver making scones. So that's a good thing to do as well. Is watching people like cooking programs. You're good at baking. Yeah, I know. I've seen your cakes. They look amazing. When you watch cooking programs online, there's loads of vocabulary that crops up, and it's quite a good thing to watch. Oh, if some diet food. Oh, you mean like healthy food, health food. That's very good. Oh, which recipe did you try? Oh, Jamie Oliver's recipe. Okay. So yeah. Oh, that was another thing I was thinking. So you know, I said you can whisk an egg and you can stir. The other verb you get with eggs is to beat an egg. like to beat something.
Want a royal brush?
I don't know. So if you okay, to beat an egg is normally when you have
Where do you normally cut it?
I don't have one. If you have your egg and it's just when you mix, basically you're mixing the yolk and the white together and you beat it. So to whisk it is to fill it with air to make it bigger, but to beat it is just really like to mix quite, I suppose, quite quickly, and quite you're quite strong when you beat. You know, you're mixing a lot. So you have beat, whisk, mix, stir. Different ways of doing it. Fold. That was it. So yeah. So often if you read a recipe and it says beat an egg, it just means to get a fork and mix the egg together is what it means. But it's difficult, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Myrtle has got the drawer where I keep all my, we call them cooking utensils. So like all the things you use for cooking are called cooking utensils. And Myrtle has taken the drawer out of the cupboard to use. Oh, can you bring that here then?
I won't use anything that is too sharp for little kids.
She just found this.
What is it called?
This is like a big chopping knife. I never use it.
What is it?
It's a big chopping knife.
I wasn't doing about this.
Oh, here you are. Myrtle's joining in again. A bottle opener. Okay. He cooked them in 3 different ways. Oh, scrambled eggs. What? What was the difference between English, French and American? I have no idea. What was the difference? Did the French add cream
What this is?
and the Americans,
I have no idea.
I don't know what they would do. Was there much of a difference? Which one? Did you try one of
I
them?
have no idea.
Shh, stop talking. No? I don't know what the difference is. I'm going to watch that now to try and find out what the difference is. I like scrambled eggs. Myrtle's just brought this to show you as well. This is a garlic.
I haven't told.
A garlic crusher. So you put the one that you put the garlic in here and you
Can I have it?
crush the garlic.
Can I have it?
There you go.
We never eat garlic.
We do. Okay. We like the English recipe. Oh, okay. And what was the difference between the English one and the French one and the American one? Did he add different things? Or was it just the way the actual cooking process? Interesting. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about when you're making, so Irina mentioned the scone recipe. Yeah. The scone recipe. The recipe. So you, it would say, if you're making scones, it would say to rub the butter into the flour, and that means to mix it together. Oh, different ways of cooking. Oh, okay. And so, do you do them in a pan? So, if I cooked scrambled eggs, I would put them in I would do them in a pan, like a saucepan.
Hello,
Shh,
we're
Myrtle,
ducks.
can you be quiet?
Look.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why is there ducks on here?
No? Did he... So, like English people would cook scrambled eggs in a pan and they would stir. I don't know if French people do. In a pan. Okay. Okay. Well, I shall have a look and see what the difference is. It's quite interesting. I just assume that scrambled eggs are scrambled eggs. And it's the same all the time. But yeah, watching these... Myrtle, please. Yes. Yes. Sorry. It's very chatty today. Yeah, so watching different ways of stirring. Are you kidding me? Okay, so what? Like, that's crazy. Okay, send me the link. That's crazy. I'll watch the link and I will see how you stir differently to make different eggs. I might try it to see if it actually tastes different. That's funny. Okay, so yeah, so this is a good thing to do anyway. I know you're doing it already, Irina. If anyone's watching this later,
What's this?
watch some cooking online and watch the recipes, because then you get to see the ingredients and you listen to them speaking, and you can always put up the subtitles as well to start to understand, because they will use lots of different, and especially people like Jamie Oliver, because he uses lots of informal language and sort of slang and phrasal verbs, so it's really good to watch and to listen to and get used to listening to the English accent. Okay, if you have any other cooking questions or English questions, let me know, and if you have a topic that you would like to learn about next week, also let me know. I'm going to go and pick all the cooking things up off the floor now, because they are everywhere. Okay, Myrtle's stealing all my cooking utensils. Okay, have a good week, and I will see you all later. Irina, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Should I show you all of the things